Hello everyone, welcome back to Shingham Lakers. I'm doing something a little bit different tonight. Last few years we've had some trouble with starting our seeds. We didn't have like a really good place to put them because our house is super small, so it's hard to keep them inside. And it's always good to start your tomatoes and peppers early. So in about a couple of weeks we need to be starting our tomato and our pepper plants. So this year I decided to order a seed start tray kit off of Amazon. It was only 20 bucks. It's got very basic packaging, but it's just a seed starting tray. Seed starting tray. This is what it'll look like. I've already planted some seeds in it just to try it out. It came with some instructions that tell you how to put it together, which is super simple. How to put dirt in it, how to plant your seeds. It doesn't tell you anything about the electrical part or the remote. So instructions, if you've never planted anything, they help you. But if you have, then they're useless. It came with a little scoop and a little digger tool, a little trowel, and like the little thing that's supposed to help you scoop out the seedlings when they're starting to grow. So I marked the seeds I'm planting tonight are supposed to be an 1/8 inch deep. So I'm marked it because I'm horrible at guessing this or doing measurements and distances and depths and all that. So it didn't really help me when I planted it the first time, but hopefully I have better luck this time. It also came with some seed markers, so you know what you planted. But the main part of the kit, so it comes with 5 sets of this, of the little greenhouse trays. So it has 5 little domes, and according to it, most domes only come to about here over seed starter trays. And to be honest with you, with the seed starter trays, we've had the big ones. That is, it only is about 2 inches tall, and these are 4 inch. So I do like that these are a lot taller. They also come with, 5 base trays. So the regular seed starting trays that I've gotten from Lowe's, Tractor Supply, and Walmart, they didn't want to come apart, are very flimsy. They do break easily. These, I can tell you, seem very sturdy. They're a thicker plastic. And even with the little tray that you put inside the base, it's a thick plastic. So I'm pretty sure I'm going to be able to reuse these without them tearing up like the regular ones do. So I do like that. And I'm hoping it's true because we're going to test these out with our Micro Tom tomatoes from Baker Creek Heirloom Seeds. I've never planted these before, but they're a super small tomato plant that only gets like 6 to 10 inches tall, and it says grows dozens of cherry tomatoes. My family love cherry tomatoes, so they can also be kept indoors because they can be used in like a 4 to 6 inch pot is what you can plant them in. So I really like that. I'm gonna try that. This is the first year I've planted these, but I'm gonna test it out on these plants because they can be kept indoors versus regular tomato seeds. But my regular tomato seeds I'll be starting in a couple of weeks. So I've got the green base to make sure it doesn't leak water everywhere. I've got the tray. I seriously cannot talk about how heavy duty this feels. So that's very nice. And then for the tray or the dome top, it has the little LED lights and the USB plug-in. It just pops into the top. It's not very snug, so even when you have it closed, moisture can get in and out of it, which is okay. But it has it so you can spin this to let more moisture out or keep it more in, I guess. But like I said, super easy to put together. But they didn't tell me how to use their little remote. So I brought in some of my potting soil because I'm working in my soaping shed, and it's just the last few years I've put a lot of pressure on myself with soaps and seams, and then I get overwhelmed and I shut down. So I'm just going to go back to having fun with it. So today My son Sam helped me pull everything out of the shed, rearranged it completely. Because I want to start making soap making and crafting videos on my Soaps and Seam channel and get back to having fun with that. I'll still sell and do things like that, but not as much pressure to do that. It's more, get back to more of having fun. It just, I don't know, I get overwhelmed easily and put a lot of pressure on myself, have high expectations, and then when I don't meet them, I shut down. So I'm going to try and prevent that by just not worrying about it and just doing what I want, not worry about whether I make money at it or not. Because a lot of times, you know, I have fun going to the different events, just hanging out. It's not about, you know, the money I make. So that's that little tidbit on Soaps and Seams. But back to this. So their little scooper is handy. It, you know, I still made a mess earlier when I was using this. And it does help kind of get it into the little cavity. It takes maybe 2 scoops to, you know, get enough in there. But it takes a good bit of time. And I'm not that patient. So I'm just going to go ahead and, like I was using before, because I make as much of a mess anyway, even when I was using the scoop. I'm going to just use my hands. I don't mind getting my hands dirty, so it's okay. And I guess if you are a person that doesn't like getting your hands dirty, you could wear gloves, but I like being able to feel the dirt. You know, I'm more of a, I don't know, tactile person. You know, I like feeling stuff. Oh, what is that? Oh, that was part of, like, I guess that was part of the soil. Okay. So luckily, I used my brain and put down paper because I knew I'd be making a mess with the dirt. Okay, like I said, they have this little tool to help. So I marked it, but putting one little dot to put your seed in didn't really work for me. So I'm just making like a little circle with it. It's more than 1/8 of an inch, I'm pretty sure. But you know what? It works for me. Do whatever works for you. Because my uncles definitely do not do this. They just plant their tomato seeds and tomatoes. And what comes up, comes up. What doesn't, doesn't. So I've already planted 1 tray of these. And it said a minimum of 10 seeds. And in all total, it had 32 seeds. So I'm planting 2 seeds in each hole. I've always done this, at least 2 seeds. And I'm not one of those that thin the plants out after I plant them. But y'all, I'm excited to try these out. But like I said, I always put at least 2 seeds in each hole because sometimes the seed doesn't grow. So I'd rather have something grow. But I'm also not one of those people that will then take out one of the plants even though they said to do that. Maybe I'll try it and see. If I have 2 come up, half of them I'll thin out. Half of them I won't. And I'll see what they do. That's what we'll do. We'll do a test to see if I'm being silly by not thinning them out. Or if I really should listen to the experts and thin them out. Okay. Alright. Some extra seeds back in there. So now I'm going to seal these back up because I always spill them. So I'm going to tape it shut. That's one thing I need to do better about because it always has like the little glue on the seed packets. Never fails. My seeds leak. So I'm going to tape this shut. Since it's already open. This package I'll just throw it away. But it'll be interesting to see how these do. So now I'm going to just kind of cover them a little bit. Like I said, it's only 1/8 of an inch, which is very shallow. Which to me, at that point, like, I don't know. That just seems very shallow. But I'm going to try and do what it says. Sometimes I have trouble following directions, as you can tell. Then the instructions showed, like, spraying it. So I'm going to try. Which just does work a lot better than pouring water. Because I think that's part of the problem I've had when I've had the big trays. When I water them with like a watering can or something, and just gets water everywhere and it washes seeds out. So I got this little handy spray bottle. I'm going to soak them down really good. Running out of water, so that's fine. Okay, then after you've watered them, it said to put the little dome over it. Sit it over here. And then you don't have to use all 5 spots. And then you just plug it in. And then you can turn it to control the moisture. Like I said, I don't think it's going to be able to control the moisture very well. Because this piece is very loose. And as you can see, just the cord itself is like moving it. But then the little remote, it has a plus or minus, and then it has like a timer button, and it has an on-off switch, but it doesn't tell you what any of that does. So I'm gonna just kind of wing it. We're gonna leave it plugged in like this, see how it does. And let me see, these sprout in 7 to 14 days, so hopefully in a week, 1 to 2 weeks, we'll have some seedlings coming up. And then, you know, let me see. Oh, this one doesn't have the time to maturity. I have it written down inside, but I don't remember it. But most tomatoes. So maybe in a couple of months we'll have tomatoes. I don't know. We'll see. But hopefully it works well with these little things. I've got 5, so that means I can do up to 60. So maybe I won't overplant this year. I don't know. We'll see. Hopefully it works. But part of this test was also to test my filming area and see how that works. Because I do want to start making my soaps and seams videos and some general crafting videos. But with soap, it's a little more involved, and I want to make sure that I have a good setup for filming. So that's part of this too. But anyway, we'll see how it goes. So y'all were just a test for this video. But we'll check back in on these probably next week. Bye y'all. Have a good night.